Ahoy there, Hearthstone fans! I'm Dead Broke Nerd, and I have for you a really cool deck out of the new Hearthstone set, Saviors of Uldum. This is the deck I call the Ramkahan Rush. So the idea here is to utilize the new quest, Unseal the Vault. So this quest is pretty hard to complete. I think it's probably on the weaker side of some of the quests simply because of its difficulty to complete, but it is really, really fun to play nonetheless. So what you want to do is you have to summon 20 minions throughout the course of the game. Now, unlike the old Hunter quest that required you to play minions, this one just requires that you summon them. That can be on your turn or on your opponent's turn. It can be summoned through death rattles, battle cries, whatever. As long as there's creatures coming onto your board, it counts. Okay, so here's the thing about this quest, right? I've seen a lot of people playing it in secrets, and I don't necessarily think that that's bad, but I think that it tends to have weaker, including all those secrets actually kind of waters down your ability to utilize the quest once it's completed, as well as slows down your ability to complete the quest initially, right? Now, you do have that high payoff card with the Hyena Alpha, which is such a good card, and I'm sure I'm going to be playing a bunch of it. I'm going to be playing with it a bunch in a secrets build at some point, but for this quest deck, it just didn't feel like it was working, okay? So I completely ditched the secrets, and instead I doubled down on the rush creatures, the reactive early game that's hopefully going to be able to slow down some of those murlocs, tokens, etc. But they also provide that extra value in the mid to late game once the quest is complete, because you can come in and just as your opponents are starting to put, big taunts down and stuff like that, you're going to be able to, play the Hunting Mastiff and the Hinch Clan Hogsteed and use your hero power now, which will buff everything by 2. Did I forget to mention that? Oh yeah, the new quest, Unseal the Vault, rewards you by changing your hero power to 2 mana, give all your minions +2 attack. And it's not just +2 attack for the turn, it's +2 attack until they die, like permanently, right? Which is super, super cool. And so, of course, it does help with your rush minions, and it helps with charge minions, right? And I'm gonna go over what kind of the combos are here, but basically that's the idea. Summon lots of creatures, buff them, and really, kind of push some damage. Now, to start off, it kind of, the early game looks very similar to like mid Hunter, right? So we got Spring Paws, Timberwolves, which buff all your beasts. We have 2 trackings. I'm using trackings here, even though I'm not a huge trackings fan. This is going to help me dig deeper and find some of the lethal combos that I'm going to go over at the end. So you've got Unseal the Vault, obviously, that starts in your hand, so you'll always be able to start with that. Hinch Clan Hogsteed, so it rushes for 2, it is a beast, and it'll summon a 1/1 Murloc. So that's just, again, helps you secure the early game, and it summons 2 things, which helps you with your quest. Hunting Mastiff, I am experimenting with this. I definitely know I want at least 1. I may end up cutting the second copy, but the bottom line is this does help you complete your quest. It rushes creatures in to remove some of the deadly, murlocs and stuff that are hanging around. And in the late game, you can play 4 of them and then mash the hero power to put 16 attack damage onto the board, all of which has rush. Okay, so it makes a lot of sense. I've got 1 Revenge of the Wild. I was playing with 2 for a while. I really like Revenge of the Wild in this deck, but I think it's a 1-buy because it's a situational effect. But basically, if you charge all of your creatures in and rush them in and trade, you can then play this afterwards, and it'll summon them all the creatures, the beasts that died this turn, all get summoned back. They contribute to your quest, and they just keep pressuring your opponent, which is good. 2 Vicious Galehides. I'm mostly playing for the lifesteal in case I get into an aggro mirror. I can play this and hopefully, heal for 2, 3, 4 points. This is another card I'm considering dropping down to 1 or even no copies. Again, I don't think this deck is finished. This is just where I ended up after playing it a bunch on ladder. 2 Deadly Shots, because I think it's necessary with all of the big creatures that are kind of coming out, especially big taunt creatures from Priest. And then, of course, you've got Giants from Warlock and Mage coming down. So I think Deadly Shots is smart 2-buy choice for the meta. Obviously, you could put kill commands in here if you want to push more damage to the face. I've got 2 Desert Spears. This is my favorite card from the new set. This is my favorite card from the new set, maybe my favorite hunter weapon ever. I love it. It's great in mid-hunter, but that's not what we're talking about. But it just it fuels your quests. It synergizes with Timberwolves and anything else that might buff. It's just a great card for Hunter and the way Hunter wants to play when they use their beast synergies, okay? I've got 2 Hunter's packs. I am not running the Master's Call in here. It was too slow. Hunter's Pack, on the other hand, has been helping a lot. I may end up looking at Master's Call again, in the future, but for now I'm just running the 2 Hunters packs, and part of the reason why I'm not running the Master's Call is because I'm running a copy of Leroy, and that can potentially disrupt the triple draw, right? So having 2 Hunters packs and 2 Master's Calls felt like too many, so I'm just running the 2 Hunters packs. They've been awesome. They'll get you good weapons, which weapons are always pretty solid. I mean, even the Gladiator's longbow can burst 5 points and help you trade without taking damage. It's a great solid card, and it refills your hand with useful things. Most of the Hunter secrets are good. Most of the Hunter weapons, in fact, theoretically, all of the Hunter weapons are good. And the Hunter beasts are pretty solid too. I mean, it does everything you want in a refill card, a reload card, right? I'm running 2 Spirit of the Lynxes, and again, this is another card that I like in theory, and I've liked in practice a couple times, but sometimes they sit in your hand a little too long. So this is another one that I could see going down to 1 or none, or being replaced by Direwolf Alpha. Again, guys, I'm showing you a deck, but it's not finished yet, and I hope you guys give it a try and mess with it and let me know what you think about it and what cards worked for you. But the bottom line is, I think Spirit of the Lynx synergizes so well with what we want to do here, summoning lots and lots of creatures that I want to use it. Unleash the Hounds, kind of obvious, but the key here is it's charge and not rush, and so this does give you the ability to burst. Halazi the Lynx fills your hand with lynxes. You want to use this when you are about to run out of cards. Refill with a bunch. You don't want to play it on 5. You want to play it on 6 or higher, because you want to be able to immediately go down to 9 cards so you don't waste a card and overdraw. Okay, Leroy, Tundra Rhino. These guys are your chargers, and then Swarm of Locusts. This helps you complete your quest. It's basically a big board clear style thing, especially once your quest is completed. This is a great card. I underestimated this card going into the set. So real fast, I want to point out what the kind of lethal chargey combos are, and then we're going to get into a game. So basically the first is that you got the Tundra Rhino, you stack a bunch of Lynxes and Spring Paws in your hand, and you go Tundra Rhino, 3 Spring Paws, and tap your Ramkahan Roar, and that charges for, I want to say, 12. It's 3, 6, 9 plus 13. Excuse me, 13 charges for 13. And then you have Leroy with an Unleash the Hounds, and the Ramkahan Roar. That also adds up to 10 mana, and it'll be 8 plus another 3 plus another 3, so that's 14, and that's assuming your opponent has an empty board. If your opponent's got 4 things on the board, that's your win condition right there. You can theoretically close to OTK them, right? With if they have a full board and you Leroy and Unleash the Hounds, I mean, you've got what's it, 6 times 3, 18 plus another 8. That's 26 points of charge damage. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so there's just lots of ways to burst from hand with those charge combos, and more importantly, I think this deck is just an absolute blast to play. I hope you enjoy the games that I'm going to attach, and I hope you enjoy the deck if you give it a try. All right, we're gonna jump on the ladder and see if we can't get some wins with our Ramkahan Rush deck, huh? Going up against Mage first. I haven't actually run into too many mages recently.
Let the hunt begin.
All right, so we're starting with our Unseal the Vault, Hunting Mastiffs, and Tundra Rhinos. Hunting Mastiffs are a late game card. You don't really want them early. We're going to toss those along with the Tundra Rhino. Great, so we've got the Timberwolf and the Spring Paw, and a Deadly Shot, which is actually quite nice if this is Giant, or Cyclone Giant Mage. So we start with the quest per the usual. We've got a Hunter's Pack as well. If we ever have a dead turn, that's a great thing to use, It's a great card to use on a dead turn, for sure. Okay, let's see. So we could ring out our Hunter's Pack, but I think that would be a waste. Personally, what I want to do is... You don't want to wait too long before playing things out. But I think in this situation, I probably just want to... Maybe I do want a double Spring Paw. No, because well... If my opponent begins stockpiling cards for an early Mountain Giant, they're not going to want to remove this, right? They're just going to use the hero power. So maybe I just play the Vicious Scalehide. It gets a body, puts one on the quest, and it isn't going to be removed by a Fire Blast. There's the Arcane Intellect. So yeah, they are likely stacking cards here for Giant. I'm going to use the Hunter's Pack now. It's going to give me King Crush, Pressure Plate, and an Eagle Horn Bow. That is not bad at all. I think we're going to want to play that Pressure Plate soon. That's actually a... Does that counter Giants? What is the ordering here? Does this go off before the spell resolves? Like if they try to Conjurers, whatever? They try to use the Conjuring on a Giant? What goes off first? That's what I'm really interested to see. Okay, great. So we're gonna go with Pressure Plate and Eagle Horn Bow. So there's the Eagle Horn Bow. We're gonna swing for 3. I'm gonna use the coin and play the Pressure Plate. Okay. So let's see. Opponent has 8 cards in hand. Does that mean they can Giant? Giants are 12, right? Minus 8. Yeah, I think that's right.
What to do?
So it's gonna be Snip Snap. If you can't tell, guys, I'm probably like borderline traumatized from Giants. So I just generally pretend like all mages are playing Cyclone Giants. Oh, this is odd. Let's go Hunting Mastiff, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and play the Timberwolf as well. No, I'm going to play a Spring Paw. We're going to hold the Timberwolf. So it's going to be like that, like that. Summons 2 mechs. I'm going to clear 1. I don't think my opponent's probably playing mechs in Mage. Maybe. They could be playing Mech Mage. I remember when that was actually a good deck. Like a long time ago. What was it? What was it? God, it was the one that, like, instead of the bot that comes down and reduces the things in your hand, it just reduced while it was on the board. It was pretty crazy. All right, so we're gonna Swarm of Locusts because that's gonna go 4, 5, 6, and I'll have 1 left over. And of course, it puts 7 things on my quest. Gosh, having King Crush in hand is pretty nice. Alright. I don't really care about the healing. You know, I mean, it sucks, but you can't really do much about that. You can't freak out about your opponent healing. Change the cost of minions in your deck to 1. Alright, thanks, Luna's Pocket Galaxy. So interestingly, the secret does not go off if they don't have a minion to die. That is actually quite interesting. Where are we at on our quest? We do need a few more. Oof. Luna's Pocket Galaxy, that's gonna hurt. Let's put some pressure. Play the Lynx. Play the Timberwolf. And we'll pressure 5 points. 6 points, excuse me. I'm not sure if I like this. I'm not sure if I like this matchup, frankly, for us. I don't think this is really in our favor. Ray of Frost, and the Execute one. No, just deal 2 damage. Alright.
Is it power
Change the cost of spells in your hand to 5.
The end is coming!
Okay, so that means he's got like pyroblasts and stuff. Yeah, that's what it'll mean. That's what it means. Okay. Well, we're gonna do some fun stuff here at least. How many do we have here? So we're gonna go Spring Paw. And another Lynx. Wait. Yeah. And then we're gonna unleash the hounds. And we're gonna go to... And then we're going to Revenge of the Wild. Unfortunately, we were 1 mana off of getting this, and I suppose we could have not played one of the Lynxes. Well, that's cool. I mean, you know... our opponent's probably got some sort of board clear here, but what's good is that at least our quest is complete. And, yep, there's the Flame Strike for 5 mana. Fun. At least we can King Crush, I suppose. Well, that's Doomsayer number 2, huh? What do we got here? Leroy. I mean, Leroy is 8 plus another 8 plus 3. Oh boy, I mean, we could King Crush. If we King Crush him for 8, he goes to 12. This, oh, we're 1 point off at that point. At that point, we are just 1 point off. Actually, we Leroy here and hold King Crush for later, right? Because it'll mitigate the... No, because if we get another Unleash the Hounds... But I mean, how many cards are in our deck? 17? That's much less likely. Oof, 1 point off. We could pick up another Timberwolf. The issue is, like, well, if we get Timberwolf...
Quickly.
Which one's better? Leroy's better. We use Leroy here. Yeah. Yeah, Leroy's the better one. We do lose the combo with the... What the hell? Well, okay, so it does get rid of this. And we get our charge on Eaglehorn Bow. That's excellent. Oh, we would have picked up that Unleash the Hounds, guys. Ah. Alright, so we Deadly Shot. We swing. We just roar for no reason. I mean, we could have Hounds roared, and we would have had a 3-1. But that's kind of silly. I'm hoping for no more healing. We really don't want our opponent to heal here.
You're in my hands.
Discover a copy of... What the hell is this? Discover a copy of a spell on your deck and cast it with random target. Oh, well, that works. This guy was 1 cost because of stupid Luna's Pocket Galaxy. Oh, no! No! Oh, Alex Straza, no! Ugh, we should have King Crushed. We should have King Crushed, and then we would have... But, oh, man. I mean, if we picked up Timber... doesn't matter. Whatever. Okay. Hounds is charging for 6. Takes him to 9. Maybe we just King Crush, charge him for 8. Yeah. We just play... King Crush is the hardest to play. Yep. I mean, we gotta make the play at some point. The random King Crush that we picked up. Oh god, he's gonna pyroblast me twice, isn't he? Yeah, I'm about to get pyroblasted or something.
We must band together, united for Dalaran.
Okay. Conjurer's calling. No way, dude! Dude, no way! He picked up double King Crush? Oh my gosh. But I think we got him. We got him with the Unleash the Hounds. He shouldn't have given us this many things! Go, Hounds! Hogsteed. We're gonna mash this. Hogsteed's gonna go in. Yeah! What a game! Ooh. That was some good stuff there. That was some good stuff. Hold on. You guys can see the power of Unleash the Hounds when you have the Ramkahan Roar.